Hi, it's Paul. In this clip we're going to look at the two common types of viral infection that we can diagnose cytologically in cervical samples. First is herpes. This is really characteristic. So it's made up usually of these large cells. This is one cell that's multinucleate. The nuclei tend to be really tightly packed and mold around each other. You can probably see them better down here and see how the chromatin is marginated to the outside of the nucleus as well. It gives a sort of glassy look. See how they're wrapping around each other up here. So 3 M's we see with herpes, and you can see them in this group as well. They are multinucleation, molding, and margination of chromatin. And that gives a very characteristic glassy look. Here's a couple of more interesting little groups, again showing the same changes. This one's a little different, so it's showing the eosinophilic single inclusions in each of the nuclei. You don't always see that. People say it's more commonly seen in secondary infections, but notice how the chromatin's still marginated, so it's really glassy looking. So there's no granularity to that chromatin at all. When you do see these inclusions, there's another group here. They can look like large nucleoli, so some normal gland cells there. You can see they've got chromatin. But this group here, this is a cervical sample, but if this was a, say, respiratory specimen, this could be quite scary because it looks a lot like adenocarcinoma. The clue is that there's no chromatin pattern there, so it's very glassy, and those two nuclei are really molded around each other. So just compare it to these benign endocervical cells, and you can see, if I bring it into focus, that they have that fine, even chromatin pattern. It's not cleared like the herpes infected cells with the large eosinophilic inclusions. Here's another interesting group. This one is showing HPV changes. These are coilocytes. There's binucleation there. There's a little strip of endocervical cells nearby as well. Just look at those infected cells. So coilocytes classically have an enlarged hyperchromatic nucleus if you compare them to the superficials and intermediates in the background, and they have that large clearing around the nucleus with a very well-defined border to it that takes up most of the cell. So look here, as I focus up and down, you can see first of all hyperchromatic nucleus in the middle, and then you can see the clear border to that clearing, and that's pretty much the same in all of these. Notice the nuclei are angular and quite a bit bigger than the intermediates in the background. Also binucleation was present in some of them, and that's quite a feature. So remember the 3 M's for herpes: multinucleation, molding, marginated chromatin. Sometimes you can see eosinophilic inclusions. HPV, typical of low-grade squamous intraepithelial lesion or HPV infection, is characterized by coilocytes, and they are squamous cells with a very large, clear vacuole with a well-defined border to it, and usually some nuclear atypia.